What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy JG, and we are back in the Ravens space. Let's jump into it. We have a reaction video reacting to should Lamar move on from the Ravens from first take. Let's get it going.
I think he's always going to feel indebted to the Baltimore Ravens because they took a chance, moved up and got him. Isaac Newton's last pick, and they built a system built around his skill set. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to remain that same system. I feel like they have to refine it a little bit and give Lamar Jackson more opportunities to be a pure drop-back passer. But to do that, that means they have to do something that's been outside of their character. They have to go out and they have to spend big in free agency. No longer can you wait and waste Lamar Jackson's prime because we don't know how long his career is going to be because of the way that he puts himself at risk by running the football. So now if you want to maximize that window, you have to go out and get him his Stephon Diggs. You have to go.
All right, so there's a couple of things we have to correct here that are just untrue. So first thing is that his running style it does not affect his injury status. He doesn't get hurt running. He only gets hurt in the pocket. And I hope someone points that out, that all his injuries have been in the pocket when, again, the offensive line isn't blocking. So that's the first thing. And those injuries can happen to any quarterback, regardless of your running style. So that's the first thing. Now, I believe he did mention something else. I think he's going to go back and elaborate on that, so I'm going to let him go. But running style, I don't want to hear that at all, to be honest.
And get him his number one receiver. Every quarterback that we consider in this league, outside of Patrick Mahomes this year, because Tyreek Hill is gone, has a number one receiver. Somebody is going out. We talk about Herbert. You talk about Keenan Allen. You talk about Williams. They have to invest heavily. They tried to do it through the draft and develop with Bacon, but that's just not enough. They have to make sure that he has weapons that you can't put 8 men in a box because you're going to pay the price outside. Now, the closest
So Bart is right about this one now. Bart Scott is right about this. Give him help. And I showed you guys a video about helping Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts, got his number one receiver. Zoom, the Eagles shot up. Okay. We already know Patrick Mahomes already had a couple of great options. Just great options. Okay. We guys know what happened in Buffalo. They got Stephon Diggs there. Josh Allen, zoom up. Tua, got Tyreek there, zoomed up. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying here. We have to get some help, even if we have to trade for him, because no one's going to sign with us because of the offense. So if we have to trade, we have to trade, but we got to get it done, and that means giving away a first-round pick if needed. I probably want to give away 2 of them, but if they're close enough, right? If it's this year and next year. Maybe, because we have everything else at other positions. So we'll see.
Lamar Jackson is Jalen Hurts and how he's used within that offense. What did they do? They understood that Rieger wasn't getting it done. People were still putting the 8 men in the box because they could double team his number one receiver, Devontae Smith. They went on and made an aggressive trade for A.J. Brown. No longer now do you try and build things slowly, right? You have to go all in and push all those chips to the middle of the table. And it's time for the Baltimore Ravens to push all the chips into the middle of the table offensively, because this is an organization that prides itself on defense. They have to tweak the way that their philosophy is and spend more of their money and their draft equity on the offensive side of the ball, because Lamar Jackson is the best player by far on that roster.
I mean, I thought I was going to disagree with that with Mark, but he was on point there. How about Lamar? How about your best player? Don't just say you have to pull it up, because no other team does that. And it's not true that people who get paid max contracts do that. Let's just take Deshaun Watson. Again, he's not as good as Lamar when you look at the winning, right? Winning is the most important thing. But he has Nick Chubb, who is better than all the Ravens running backs, guys. I'm sorry to let you guys know he is. I know you guys are going to kill me on that. Nick Chubb is much better. Their backup running back arguably is better than our running backs, arguably. Okay. Their receiver, who they got from the Cowboys, the name is escaping me, much better than our receivers. I mean, so much better than our receivers that I might stab somebody to get them on the team, to be 100% honest. It's that stark, guys. It's that stark. Joe Mixon is better than all of our running backs. I'm sorry, guys. That's true. Okay, Jamar Chase, I would stab 2 people to get him on our team. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we didn't deal with, and it's just not good enough, to be honest, for us.
Y'all say Lamar Jackson, everything you said makes sense, except for the beginning, right? He should absolutely consider leaving somewhere else for a couple reasons. Number one, simple negotiation tactic. Think about it. Like, you don't want to pay me the money that I think I deserve. Someone else will pay me that money. You want to franchise tag me this year or next year? That'll be $100 million. The next 2 years, you get franchised, $100 million guaranteed. So,
and this is the part that I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear, but Lamar's going to get the money, guys. And again, I know a lot of you guys think that every NFL team cares about winning. It's not true. It's not true. Every NFL team does not care about winning. Do you know what every NFL team does care about? Making money. Every single one. Making money. Okay? I know Jerry Jones may want to win a Super Bowl, but if you told Jerry Jones, hey, Jerry, you can win a Super Bowl this year, but the next 4 years, you're not going to make any money, Jerry would think about it. I guarantee you, smaller teams like the Jaguars would say, hey, no. If I'm not making money, I don't care about, it's about making money. That's it. And you know who sells out seats? The most explosive person in football. He sells tickets. You telling me that if Tua doesn't get his stuff right, because they're kind of faltering right now, you telling me that they won't kick Tua out of here and get Lamar in there and become the best team in the AFC? You out your gourd. You telling me that Atlanta, who love Mike Vick, again, if you guys don't know, Atlanta is the most recognizable black city in America. You telling me that the fans down there wouldn't love Lamar? Come on, guys. Come on. We got to, Lamar's going to get this money. It's either going to be us or somebody else. And that's just 100% facts here. Because if he's in Atlanta, you sell out every game. You don't even have to promote. You don't have to do any promotion. You sell out every single game. If he's in Miami, his hometown, he sells out every single game. This is, guys, come on. We got to, but hey, let's see.
I think Lamar Jackson should consider leaving, but should he? I think he should stay. Think about leaving. Use that negotiation tactic, but I think he should. I don't think he should take anything less than what you're worth, of course. And if they don't give you that, then take the franchise tag. That's where I'm going.
The tricky part about all of this is that we don't know what the negotiations entail. We don't know what specifically they offered him, what specifically he turned down. He does not have an agent, his family.
All right, we're going with this agent mess again. We do know exactly what, but Stephen A is not being honest with you. He wants what Deshaun Watson got plus $1. I'm telling you guys this, okay? That's what he wants, okay? The Ravens are saying we don't fully guarantee contracts. That is the issue. The issue isn't the money, right? If you gave him a contract that was what Deshaun Watson got plus $1, but only 70% of it was fully guaranteed, the Ravens would sign. The Ravens would do it. But Lamar is like, no, I want fully guaranteed. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to take this fully guaranteed franchise tag. And then if you don't want to give it to me again, then I'll take another fully guaranteed franchise tag. All right? That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen, guys. I'm telling you.
He's representing him. He's representing himself essentially. And so because of that, we're not privy to what has transpired. What I would say is this. I answered the question the way that I did because the question was originally posed to me, should the Ravens consider letting him go like he's at fault?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. You put the franchise on his back. You put him in a position where he's overexposed. As y'all have said on many occasions, you're a quarterback, you run the football enough, you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
The reality of the situation is that Lamar Jackson, as electrifying as he is running the football, he's one of the rare quarterbacks in the league compelled to run because of the weapons or the weapons or the lack thereof around. The Bateman, Duvernay, they can play. I get on that. Andrews,
Then I never
get all of that.
Guys, so Stephen A. Smith, sometimes he hits gold. Sometimes he hits gold. That was golden, guys. It's not that Lamar Jackson can only run. It's that he's the only quarterback that has to run. Okay? Kyler Murray, if Kyler Murray wanted to, he could throw the ball and never run and still win a football game. Jalen Hurts, if he never wanted to run, he could and still win a football game. Josh Allen, if doesn't want to run, could still win a football game. Lamar Jackson can do that, not because he can't make those throws, because we've seen him when the Ravens are down come back by making throws against a great athletic defenses, right? The issue is that Lamar Jackson doesn't have the weapons, okay? Mark Andrews is great. I love Mark Andrews. He's a tight end, okay? And he's not a tight end that dominates with physical attributes. He's a tight end that gets open in creases and, beats mismatches, right? He's not Gronk. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not Travis Kelce. He's good. He's great. He's not those two. There's no receiver on our team that would be a number one receiver anywhere else in the league. Anywhere else. And Bateman would be the only one who will be guaranteed to be a number two receiver. Okay? Duvernay is not guaranteed to be a number two receiver in other places in the league. Prochet isn't guaranteed to be on a roster in other places in the league. So this is the issue that we're running into as Ravens fans and as the Ravens team. Lamar has to run, so because you built the team that Lamar has to run, now you're putting him in danger, which is why a lot of fans think he's checked out, to be honest.
The Dolphins, they were not number one, and number two, they've been injured. And so when you take those things into consideration, once again, you have Lamar Jackson coming into the season knowing that him, not just the passer, but him in totality has to come save the day.
Yeah.
You to Lamar Jackson, you got to get your bag, but you also got to use that power to force them to take care of you the way they're taking care of other quarterbacks in terms of protecting them.
Here's where I'd be torn. I feel like Baltimore has...
Okay, before Molly jumps in, shout out to Stephen A. If I had a bell, I would ring it because that's a great point. I mean, Stephen A. did his thing on that one. Shout out to Stephen A. He's
an incredible coach, and it's such a well-run organization. But have they done enough? Like, could you argue that they're wasting a little bit of his prime in terms of having the talent when you say there's no number one?
No, they have. At least they've tried to address the receiver position in free agency, but because of the style of offense that they play, the free agent receivers did not want to come, right? So they said no. They were trying to be aggressive. So they say, you know what, this is the best way that we can win is running the football. Sometimes what's old is new, what's new is old. They're one of these old school teams that believe that running the football is the way to win, playing great defense. They've won 2 titles, based on that, but they have to address and tweak it a bit. And because they haven't been able to be healthy, they haven't been able to prove their philosophy right. So now they have to have some type of happy medium. If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm identifying who I want. You go out and you go get him. And if you don't do that, then you're not doing me a disservice. Then I'm leaving.
But what if they don't want to go? That's the issue. Like this is a run-first offense.
Yeah.
Then you have Rashad Bateman.
But we got to get over that, guys. Listen. How many run-first offenses wins championships? I don't know any. When is the last time a run-first offense has won a championship? Right? And I don't want to hear that defense wins championship nonsense, okay? You know who wins championships? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, okay? Matt Stafford, that's who wins championships, okay? We have a quarterback of that caliber, right? A quarterback who can win games with his arm, and we're different because we have one that can win games with his leg too. The Titans haven't won championships. Derrick Henry is great. You can't run the ball in the playoffs and think you're going to win games when Patrick Mahomes is lighting up the scoreboard. That is it. Guys, that's the issue. And when are we going to understand that as a team? And this is kind of making me mad because a lot of you guys told me, Jason, it's not just Greg Roman, it's John Harbaugh. You guys might be right the more I think about it. You guys might be right.
Got drafted first round, but he's been injured, right?
Yep.
Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends, but you can't. He's been injured this season. You can't just have Mark Andrews. If I'm a free agent, it may be difficult to want to go to Baltimore. My top level receiver.
Money talks, though. Money talks, right? We talk about within this system. Hollywood Brown had 1,000 yards last year. and Mark Andrews had 1,000 yards last year. So it's not that you can't.
And so this is another good point here, right? When our running backs were injured and we had to kind of shift away from the running game, we had 2,000 yards receivers. 2. Guys, so we know we can do it. It's weird, man. It's like we're holding our own selves back for a brand. That's kind of, like this is the Ravens brand. This is the Harbaugh brand. It's time. This is the Greg Roman brand. It's time to forget all that, guys. It's like tradition, guys. Tradition is important. It's almost, Christmas time, New Year's Eve. But guess what, guys? Guess what? If every single year you went out to watch the New Year's Eve ball drop, and in New York this year, is negative 20 degrees, stay your tail home, okay? That tradition is going to have to come back in another time because it's not that important when it comes to your health. And for the Ravens, health is winning Super Bowls, and we're not going to do it with run first. We're just not. So.
Do it, and things can be adjusted. This is basically a similar system, not exactly the same that Jalen Hurts is playing in, and they're able. I don't think AJ Brown or Devontae Smith is unhappy with their targets. You have to adjust. And listen, we saw this system originate with Colin Kaepernick because Greg Roman created that offense for Colin Kaepernick. Crabtree was still eating, so it is levels to this. They have to adjust the system.
The one thing I want to make sure, Sam, that we don't say. I don't consider the Ravens a running offense. I consider them somebody that overuses Lamar Jackson.
Oh my goodness, guys. I 100% agree with Stephen A. Smith on this. What is happening here? What is happening here? This is crazy. Man, I'm going crazy. And in the comments, guys, he's right. We're not a running offense. We're a Lamar Jackson offense, and no other team other than the Bills are like that. And guess how many Super Bowls the Bills have won? Right? Again, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. The Chiefs are not a Patrick Mahomes offense, right? He's the engine, but some games they're a Travis Kelce offense. In the past, some games, Tyreek Hill. Again, a Patrick Mahomes offense is an offense where Patrick Mahomes has thrown the ball to 10 different receivers and, he's doing everything and no receiver is really that's not what the Chiefs are. Some games, Travis Kelce has 200 yards. That's a Travis Kelce offense. Some games, Tyreek Hill had 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a Tyreek Hill offense, right? So we can't switch it up. There will never, ever be a time where our receiver has 150 yards because we don't allow it. It's crazy.
Just him to be that way. What I'm saying to you is this. John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, their offense has rarely, if ever, been prolific. Defense is...
But they did lead the league in scoring one year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the bottom line is their defense has been the signature for this franchise. I'm not saying that you're wrong in terms of them being a running offense. I'm saying it's a difference between calling plays that way because you have no choice. And just being that way. I think they're that way because Lamar Jackson is their best weapon, and they need to find other weapons so he doesn't have to be that way.
But it's not just that. When you go back to like who you are, you boil it all down like who you actually are. What's your identity? I think it was at the Tampa Bay game when it was like, let's going to go back to where the Ravens played. What
do we do?
First half, they were trying to pass. It wasn't working. Second half, smash mouth football, over 200 yards. They started, that's who they are. That's who their identity is.
That's who they always.
It's defense.
They don't
and it's weapon.
Well, honestly, like he said, if they had the Diggs, if they had some,
they dominated a running back. They have an offensive line. They have a Gus Edwards at running back.
That prevents Lamar Jackson from feeling to run.
I think so. That was good stuff. I think the truth is, I honestly think that Stephen A. was right. This is a Lamar Jackson offense because Lamar Jackson is the only way we can win games. We saw what happened. Again, Gus, let's just be real. We saw what happened when we lost the game and J.K. Dobbins had over 100 yards rushing and the rushing game rushed for 200 yards. We scored 3 points. Guys, you know, John, if you listen to me, John, it's time for you to come through, my man. It's time for you to have a come to Jesus moment and stop trying to be for the brand and be for the Ravens and win some games. In a different way other than, hey, Lamar, let's Lamar it up. So you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks, and go Ravens.